Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 10 of my Feed the Beast Resurrection mod pack Let's Play. I'm going to be doing a ton of building in this episode, so let's get started. In between episodes, I took care of my slime deficiency. If you just heard that beep a minute ago, I built a Slimealizer. A user comment, guy by the name of Squidzilla 1980 commented on one of my videos about using a Slimealizer to help find slime blocks. I hadn't been able to see that I couldn't find that in any eye beforehand, so I assumed maybe it was to a mod that wasn't in this pack. But he pointed it out. I found it, the Slimealizer thing, and then I ended up remembering that slime spawn a lot more in a swamp. So I ended up, where's my map here? I have a swamp clear over here on the other side of the little continent I'm building on. I went over there and just farmed slimes for like 1 or 2 Minecraft days. Let me stick this in here so it stops beeping on me. I have a slime block right here. I didn't want to farm close to my base, so I went clear up there on the other side. It was actually pretty quick. Once I got to that swamp, there was like, I don't know, a dozen slime blocks in that swampy biome. One other thing I've been doing over here is doing a whole lot of IC2 and Greg Tech crops. These are fantastic. You gotta... But evidently, before you get a crop matron to do weed spray on them automatically, you have to monitor them pretty closely for weeds. But that seems to only be the case when you're doing crossbreeding. I don't have any crossbreeding sticks up right now, and I haven't had a weed try to grow in hours. So as long as you got your farm set and you're not trying to crossbreed, they seem to do fine, just standing on their own. One thing, though, too, is that you don't want to idle next to them if you're not paying attention. You don't want them chunk-loaded while you're doing it manually, because I ended up losing a couple of cool things, because I'd get some, what crop was it? I can't remember. It was something kind of cool. I think it might have been, I think it was going to be like the iron crop or something like that, the thing that produces iron. Oh no, it was Terrawort. It was, I got a Terrawort here somewhere. And, I ended up going in here doing other stuff and then just idling, not paying attention, and weeds took that over. So, make sure to keep an eye on that if it's chunk loaded. So, what else do I got here? While tending my crops over here, just kind of half watching them, half watching other YouTube videos and such, I ended up getting plenty of steel. I have 2 stacks of steel ingots in here. One thing to note is I was really incorrect about this block of steel. I was thinking maybe it would save something, but turns out you need all kind of higher tier stuff to turn a block of steel into steel ingots. So don't do what I did starting out. Don't throw a block of iron in here thinking you're making out, because you need steel ingots to do just about anything, because most of the top higher end stuff is really steel plates. So don't just throw steel blocks in there. Let's see, what all do I got planned here? Okay, first I am wanting to automate this. I have procrastinated that too long, so that's the big project I'm going to be doing this episode. I'm going to probably switch over from Buildcraft pipes to extra utilities transfer pipes in order to accomplish that. And the other big thing I'm wanting to do is make a second farm here. I'm going to need a ton of wheat for what I have planned. One, I need wheat to finish my little hut down there. I just haven't really felt like doing the automated you know, not automated, the manual farming down here that I have. So I've been kind of putting that off to get a second farm just for wheat. So I'm going to set that up here this episode. Then once I get that up and running, I am going to start automating this. My goal is to have both of those farms outputting to some chests up here, and then I am going to have some kind of train-based system where the train comes out. Not really a train, it'll be a chest cart of some kind, come out, get loaded up, and then head back in. And then once inside, I'm going to have the cart unloaded on that first level you get to coming in here. So I'm going to cut away for a minute. I'm going to drop back down here and cut out some of this rock that I'm going to need. My whole bronze workshop down here, I'm going to cut out this wall a little ways, install another one of these. Right now I'm doing this kind of inefficiently. I should have my hobbyist steam engines hooked up directly to my steam production, so I don't have to have fuel source dumping it in here. So I'm going to rearrange some things, do this a little bit more optimally. I have steam running in through here, hobbyist steam engines, and another farm over here. So I'm going to cut away and do a little bit of digging. Alright, I'm back. I moved this far wall back about 13, 14 or so. Should have plenty of room to put a new multi-farm in there. And as you can see, I've been rearranging some stuff. Let me drop down here. I'm going to end up moving my aqueous accumulator down here so that all the water will be run through a subfloor. I have this copper pipe running down here. Let me hop back up there and show you guys what I'm doing with that. I've dropped my hobbyist steam engines down a little bit so that the kinesis pipes that are running to this here and will be running to this multi-farm over here are sunk down out of the way a little bit. I moved the gearbox from that far side over to this side. As you can see, it keeps all its inventory, so that's pretty convenient. So I am just waiting for my low pressure steam boiler there to start putting out some steam. I just want to check to make sure this is sufficient. I don't know how much steam these things use, so I don't know if this small copper fluid pipe is sufficient to power those two. So I'm gonna kind of wait around, wait for some steam production to start back up, and I will get back to you guys. Alright, I am back. It took me a while to get this up and running again, but I got power going. And nope, don't turn that off. Alright here. As it turns out, you don't need water if you're supplying steam to these from an outside source. So, that seems to be giving plenty of steam here. Actually, it just seems to be right about the right amount. So, I'll have to see how this works out when I get another multi-farm up here. A little trick, someone commented, a guy by the name of Tvoid123 on one of my videos here in the last day or two, commented that the soft-faced hammer, these wooden hammers that you get with just six wood planks and a stick, are useful for turning Greg's tech all words. They're difficult. Turning Greg Tech stuff on and off again. Let me just bap this bronze tube here. See, machine processing disabled, machine processing enabled. It just took me forever to get this up and running. Like I had like 250,000 units of steam in there before it was processing anything. So I just went around and bapped it with the hammer, the wooden one, till it just suddenly started working. So thank you, Tvoid123. Alright, I am going to clean up my inventory a little bit and get ready to process the electron tubes that I will need to make my second multi-farm. So I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, I got my thermionic fabricator moved over here. So let me get started. I am going to need a total of 36 blocks to form the multi-farm. 4 of those blocks are special blocks, so I'm going to need 32 of these farm blocks. Let's see, and each farm block takes 1 tin electron tube. So I have 11, so that leaves 21 more that I need to make. Recipe for these are 5 tin, 2 redstone. Let's see what this gets me. Alright. I need 32. Let's make round up a little bit so I don't have to come and do this again. There we go. That should be more than plenty, plus a little bit for margin of error. Awesome. Tin. Now, what other kinds of electron tubes I'm going to need? Let's see, farm block. The gearbox is just tin gear. The farm hatch is tin gear and a trap door. Farm valve, tin gear and 2 glass, and the controller. I need a control. Yeah, the control block is a golden electron tube, and I already have 3 of those. So that looks like that. Let me see, this thing keeps pulling power as long as it's on here, so I'm going to unload this thing and move it off of here so that my engines can keep up. Alright, I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, I'm back. I got all this laid out here, got the multifarm fully assembled. Got kinesis pipes ran, water from the subfloor up here. So I am ready to put together my intricate circuit board. All that is it's 3 gold and 6 redstone and a carpenter. I'll just pull up the recipe here. Carpenter, not the carpenter block, the carpenter from forestry. Here we go. It's just a bronze casing, some bronze and brass. Gets you a carpenter, and then in the carpenter you put 6 redstone, 3 gold. You get that. Then you need a 3 iron, 3 on a 3 iron, 1 bronze, and a carpenter to get the soldering iron. The soldering iron has this GUI here. You switch it over to managed farms, and I'm going to do 1 blazing electron tube, which will get me a nether wart, and 3 bronze, which should be crops. There we go. And the last bit, you throw in the intricate circuit, and you get the managed farm circuit. And you pop that in the centerpiece of the farm GUI, and there we go. Let me run and get the seeds and stuff I need to throw in here, and I'll be right back. Alright, here we go. It's planting stuff, watering dirt, and that is pretty awesome. Looks like everything is working. Let me drop back down here. Yep, looks like everything's working. So I am going to roll right into automation. This took a little bit longer than what I thought, just getting this stuff set up. So I'm going to cut here and start putting together some pipes and some transfer nodes and stuff. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, that took a while, but I got the first little bit set up. I got a bunch of the transfer pipes made up. I got a few of the transfer nodes done. I have some sorting pipes set up. I have this. I set up a work table here just for to streamline the production of the stuff. Transfer pipes, easy recipe. The expensive bit of the whole thing is the transfer node. It requires an ender pearl and you know, just other normal stuff, smooth stone chest, redstone, and a transfer pipe to get 4 of these. So for every ender pearl you get 4 transfer nodes. So you either need, if you need to start off with the system, you need to kind of make it a little bit limited as far as its scope. The transfer node is what pulls out of an inventory, and then the transfer pipes do everything else. I have one sorting pipe up there. The sorting pipe's just one gold ingot with a normal transfer pipe recipe. I do have some item sorting filter pipes, which is basically a diamond pipe from Buildcraft. It's still fairly cheap. 4 transfer pipes and 4 of any die will get you 5 of those. So I'm sorry, 5 transfer pipes and some die will get you 5 filter pipes, which are really the more robust sorting system. So right now you'll see these glowing red indicators moving around. I have glowstone dust in one of the upgrade slots here, and that just kind of highlights where the sorting pipe system is looking. So I think, as far as I can tell, the transfer itself is pretty much instant, but the thing that takes time is the sorting pipe system searching for valid inventories. So you can see how some of these look different. All that is just whacking them with this Buildcraft wrench. See, that's the white kind. That takes it off of an adjacent inventory. See, that's normal. It will normally connect to any kind of multi-block structure next to it. So just hit it once. That's like a restricted pipe. Hit it again, restriction the other way. Hit it again, restriction both ways, and the next time gets you just turns it off. So I just have that on all the blocks that neighbor a multi-block here, and you can see my corner pipe here, my T, is restricted 2 ways and then open 1 way, so that when it's searching, it automatically will almost always choose this direction. I think I saw an episode of Direwolf 20 where they explained it, where with that restriction, it acts as if the other direction is like 1,000 blocks away or something, so it always goes the easier choice. Now what I have down here, and you notice this is kind of a convoluted system, I'll explain why in just a second. It pulls out of this pipe with the transfer node and into my bigger storage stuff. So I have all my products here, and then I have a restriction pipe over, or I think that's called a restriction pipe, over my trash can. So it seems to go down the line here trying to put it in, trying to find a valid inventory to put it in, and then the last choice it makes is the trash can. So as you can see, I'm already maxed out in, you know, apples and saplings. So those just bypass that and eventually get down into the trash can there. It's kind of slow starting off with these, but it'll ramp up here before too long. The reason why I have this kind of convoluted where everything dumps into a chest up top and then the chest dumps back down here is that eventually I'm going to have a rail cart system pulling out of that chest and taking into my main base. Eventually that will go into the mountain there and get into a little bit more permanent of a situation. But until then, I'm just running this. So as soon as I get the rail cart set up, I'll just move all this stuff inside, and I'll have my like temporary storage, you know, just a double chest there for the train to pull out of. So my next step I need to do is to get power situated out here. Right now I am manually inserting wood into furnaces to turn into charcoal, and then running over here excuse me, and dumping the charcoal into my steam boiler. So I'm wanting to automate that. I think the easiest way to do that, however, will be with let me pull it up here. Retrieval node. See, the only thing the retrieval node is a QED recipe, and that takes a lot of ender pearls. Conveniently enough, I have a bunch of ender pearls in my base. So I'm going to cut away here and head inside and start this whole process. Alright, I'm managed to gather up all my stuff, got some transfer nodes. I didn't notice before, this takes one emerald for, was it one? Yeah, so it's an emerald per. So I did have 21 of those that I had gotten earlier, so I'm going to be able to make at least a few of these. While that's running, let me just show you what I did here. Yeah, I ended up setting that up a little bit better with the extra utilities transfer pipes. These little pylon things just take 4 ender infused obsidian. Each one of those is 4 obsidian and a pearl. Burnt quartz for the diamond computational matrix is just quartz and 4 quartz to make a quartz block. And you just throw that quartz block in a furnace, smelt it like normal. And then diamond computational matrix, just 4 diamond, 4 burnt quartz, and the ender infused obsidian. And then that gets you, 5 ender infused obsidian, diamond etched computational matrix, and that junk gets you your QED. These just power it, and bam, got that. I'm gonna make a couple more. 3, 2, 3, 1, 2. There we go. Alright, that should get me enough to automate my whole steam and plant setup down there. I'll get back to you guys in just a minute. Alright, I think I got this worked out here. I'm down in my little subfloor area where I had to set up shop as far as this automation goes. I have a transfer pipe coming down from my wood barrel up there, and it is attached to the top of these 4 furnaces. And then I have 4 transfer nodes, one on the bottom of each furnace, dumping into this chest. The top is, that's getting pulled out by a regular transfer node, so that continuously pulls as long as there is a valid inventory that it can find. And the only inventory slot that it's hooked up to is the top of the furnace. And then these, the transfer nodes on the bottom, continuously pull out of the product slot of the furnace, and it continuously pulls, as each one of those continuously pull as long as it can find a valid inventory, which is going to be this chest. Then on the back side is some more transfer pipes and a transfer node on the top of the chest. That transfer node again pulls from the inventory here as long as it can find a valid inventory, and the back and sides of the furnace always fill this the fuel portion of the furnace, the fuel slot. And as you can see here, this is full, and now finally this is full. And I was hoping to catch it before it filled up, but it always fills the closest to the closest to this. So this, I didn't actually see this connecting here. just to make this uniform in how it works. There we go. So this, that actually didn't change anything the way it's hooked up, but I just like the appearance being uniform. So this will pull, and the first inventory it finds is going to be this. Each and every, it seemed, the entire stack, it was like that each and every time. Of each one of these, it always checks this first, and then it fills this, and then it fills this, and then it fills this. And when this fills up, let's look at it. When this fills up, it will start responding to the retrieval node that I hooked up to my low pressure boiler. So right now this is just heat that was in there before. I let it run out of fuel, and that should, yeah, I have a filter pipe in there just for charcoal, but that's actually the way I have my system set up now. That's pointless because that's the only thing it will ever receive, because this chest only ever receives product of a furnace, which is always going to be charcoal. So that was weird. I thought I saw an apple falling. Anyway, let me put that there. So as soon as this happens, as soon as I get up to 64 charcoal, I should probably start to see, alright, any minute now I will start to see this kick back on. See, nothing actually makes it work like this. It's just that this retrieval node searches for valid inventories to pull from, and the only valid inventory it's hooked up to is going to be the chest, and the transfer node on the chest is pulling out of the chest, filling the furnaces fast enough that, and there it turns on, that this never finds anything. So any charcoal that hits the furnace is going to be immediately pulled to fill this thing up. See, it's just filling. As that chest starts to get a little bit of a backlog, this should, I'm hoping, 4 furnaces produce enough charcoal to fuel both 4 furnaces and this boiler. It did it when I was doing it manually, but I wasn't running the furnaces manually then. So let's see. 64. I'm just checking to make sure everything's going all right. Might take a few more seconds to wind up here to get enough backlog in the pipes to where, yeah, and okay, so this transfer node is going to have to fill up too, because this transfer node has that 1 slot inventory. So this is going to have to hit 64 for there to start to be a backlog in the chest. That was just that one that showed up here was just as I was saying before, that occasionally that retrieval node will catch it when there's still a charcoal in the chest that hasn't got a chance to get pulled up to the transfer node. So as soon as this hits 64, that the steam boiler should start getting enough to run. So I'll just come back to you when it's starting to run. Alright, the transfer node off the chest got the full stack, which is allowing some charcoal to build up in the chest, which allows this retrieval node on the steam boiler to grab it. So it is slowly filling up here. To 7, 9. I'll get like 3 or 4 in. It'll use up 1, then maybe 2, and then 3 or 4 more show up. So it's gradually building up. So my guess of how the retrieval node works is it probably continues to pull from the pipe, from the transfer pipe, as long as there's an valid open slot. So when this backlogs, once I get, you know, a stack here and stacks here, then eventually this chest will start filling up. So what happens when the chest gets full? Okay, yeah. So when the chest fills up, eventually, this is going to be a couple hours probably. When the chest fills up, these transfer nodes pulling out of the product slot will backlog. I'll get 64 in here, and then it will stop. It'll eventually stop pulling out of the furnace. So then the furnace will fill up, and furnaces stop working. Okay, I kind of had to walk through that out loud in my own head just to make sure I wouldn't have some kind of tragic incident where I come down here and there's 1,000 stacks of charcoal on the ground and tons of lag or something. So that works out. Awesome. So that's just going to be a couple hours waiting for that to fuel up. And let me see how this is looking. Still have 107 stacks, 106 stacks. That's probably going to drop a little below 100 stacks, but that's okay. I'm just curious on how much this produces. I'm vaguely curious if I'll have to. I should sit down and do up a spreadsheet that has the math on how much charcoal is going to do here. So, you know what? Let me sit down and think about this for a while. I'll get back to you guys in just a minute. Alright, I kind of thought about it for a minute. I'm not going to do any kind of spreadsheet. I'm just going to let it run for a couple days, see how it works out, see where the natural point of it is, the low point of it. If I need to do something else to get more wood to fuel everything, I will. There's a couple other things. There's a couple other things I can do too. So I am just about at a pretty good wrapping up point, so I'll head back over here and wrap up episode 10. Alright, that finishes up this episode. Got a ton of stuff done. Took me forever. Had to fiddle around with the automation thing forever, but I got that done. So now I should start to get a pretty good backlog of stuff. I didn't get a train system built yet to pull everything over, but maybe we can save that for next episode. So, till then, like or subscribe if you enjoyed this. Leave a comment if you see anything you wanted to point out in the video, any advice for me, any criticism. Thanks for watching. Bye.